Today we're going to talk about what happens when your dog runs into a skunk in the field. And you should always have this stuff in your truck with you. And it's a simple solution you can get at any grocery store. And generally I have a bucket like this. And then I have a bottle of hydrogen peroxide, box of baking soda, and I usually use about a half a box each time I mix the solution. And a couple squirts of Dawn dish detergent. And this is Rena, by the way. There's a pheasant feather. This is what she's after. She smells this. So that's a good dog. She's after that. And you mix all this stuff together. A couple other things I always have a cheap poncho that can be thrown away. Just these cost about $1. And then I have some rubber gloves, which I don't have here pictured. Again, you just mix it all together, and as you're kind of scooping it out of your solution, you kind of cover the dog's eyes up so you don't get it in, and you kind of take it, you have somebody dump it for you if you have a partner, or else kind of scoop it and rub it on there, and just a little bit, and you just rub it all the way over your dog, and then you leave it sit for about 5 minutes. Then I usually have a few water jugs with me, and again, when I'm starting to rinse her off, I cover up her eyes so we keep the solution out of the eyes, and then I just kind of let the dog shake off, and generally the first time you give it to her, it works. I mean, if they get it really, really bad, sometimes you have to do it a second time. But they're pretty good on sitting there. But again, just mix this stuff. Some people think you can pre-mix it and just have it in jugs, but it doesn't work that way. It's the instant reaction of the baking soda and hydrogen peroxide that foams up and the enzymes that are working at that time. So you can't pre-mix it. And the other thing that happens is over here. These collars, there's something about plastic and skunk. The smell just penetrates the plastic and you can't get it out. So I've tried several different things. I talked to a guy that works for a electronic collar company, and he says that if the dog's collar gets sprayed by skunk, you can soak it in alcohol. He said it won't hurt the collar. So she's still looking for that feather. But you can see this was all pure white alcohol. You can see the color through the bottle. And so you can see how hard she got nailed with the skunk. That all this is all yellow inside the bucket. That's the skunk liquid that came off it. And then after you do that, I tried something new this time. There's two possible ways. The first one I used was just unused coffee grounds. He still wants that feather. Unused coffee grounds. And this time I put cat litter. That was another thing. I want to try that. And so you just, after you've done the 24-hour soak in the alcohol, you put them in the cat litter to absorb the rest of the smell. And I'm going to take them out of there now and just see. These reeked, when I first put them in there, and there's just a tiny, faint smell now. This color doesn't smell at all. The shock collar smells. Again, this is my Rena. She is always ready to go hunting. Anytime that gate's open, she was ready to go. So this is really good. Nobody wanted to touch it. They were grabbing it with rubber gloves and holding it way out like this. So this is a good way. I actually think the coffee grounds worked a little bit better than the cat litter. Now, I didn't buy real expensive cat litter. I bought the cheapest, so maybe more expensive cat litter would work better. But they had some that was $12 a bag, and I bought the $3 a bag cat litter. So who knows? Maybe that more expensive cat litter would absorb the smell a little bit better. So those are two things you can do if your dog gets sprayed by a skunk.